Have you ever wondered why certain people enter your life and leave such a profound impact that it seems to transcend any rational explanation? Edgar Cayce, known as the Sleeping Prophet, revealed secrets about soulmates that challenge our understanding of love. This is not just a romantic story, but a spiritual truth that connects destinies across multiple lifetimes. Today, you will discover what mystics have always known. True love knows no barriers of time or death. Prepare for a journey that can completely transform your perspective on eternal relationships. In the beginning of time, when divine creation took shape, souls were not born alone. Edgar Cayce revealed that each soul was created as part of a sacred pair, two halves of a single cosmic spark. This division did not happen by chance, but as part of a divine plan so that each half could experience different aspects of existence. Imagine two drops of light separating from their original source, carrying within them the same essence, but destined for individual journeys. This initial separation is what creates that inexplicable feeling of incompleteness that many people experience throughout their lives. When these souls separate on the cosmic plane, they begin a journey of self-discovery that can last millennia. Each follows their own path of evolution, accumulating unique experiences, knowledge, and wisdom. However, there is an invisible magnetic force that always keeps them connected, like two magnets that, no matter the distance, always sense each other's presence. This connection transcends the physical and manifests itself through dreams, intuitions, and an inexplicable longing for something that seems lost. This is why some people report feeling a void that no relationship can completely fill. Cosmic origins explain why certain people have such a profound impact on our lives from the very first encounter. It's no coincidence when you look into someone's eyes and feel like you've known them forever. Your soul is recognizing your other half, even if your conscious mind can't comprehend this realization. This memory is etched deep within your being, like a spiritual fingerprint that no incarnation can erase. It's living proof that true love has roots much deeper than we imagine. Soulmate recognition doesn't depend on words or physical gestures, but on an energetic vibration that resonates at the most subtle level of existence. When two halves of the same soul come together, they begin to vibrate in harmony, like two tuning forks tuned to the same frequency. This energetic synchronization can cause intense physical sensations, such as a racing heart, tingling, or a feeling of expansion in the chest. Many people describe this moment as an awakening, as if emerging from a long spiritual slumber. It is at this moment that the soul remembers its origin and its greater purpose. Being created as a pair also means that each soulmate carries qualities that complement their other half. If one developed more compassion, the other may have specialized in wisdom. If one manifested creativity, the other may have cultivated discipline. This complementarity is not accidental, but part of divine design so that, when united, they form a more complete and powerful being. This is why couples who are true soulmates often strengthen each other, each compensating for the other's limitations. They become more than the sum of their individual parts, creating a unique spiritual synergy. Before we move on, we want to feel the power of your presence. Comment below your name and from which city, state, or country are you watching us. Let's map this current of light and show how far our message is reaching. Write in the comments and let's expand this energy together. Knowing this cosmic origin should bring hope, not despair. Knowing that you have a soulmate somewhere in the universe means you will never be truly alone. Even if this reunion doesn't happen in this lifetime, the connection remains intact on the spiritual plane. Your soulmate may be accompanying you in invisible ways, guiding you through intuition, synchronicity, and even through other people who cross your path. The cosmic origin of soulmates is the promise that true love is eternal and that all separation is only temporary. This truth can transform your perspective on relationships and your own value as a spiritual being. The journey of soulmates through reincarnation is one of Edgar Cayce's most fascinating revelations. Contrary to popular belief, these souls do not remain together throughout their earthly lives. In fact, they separate purposefully, incarnating in different eras, cultures, and even continents. This separation is not a punishment or a cruel twist of fate, but a divine strategy for each soul to expand its consciousness through diverse experiences. Imagine two stars that separate to illuminate different regions of the cosmos, knowing that one day they will shine again side by side. Each separate life is an opportunity for growth that enriches the future union. During these separate lives, each soulmate accumulates unique lessons that will be shared upon their reunion. One may live as a warrior, learning courage, while the other incarnates as a healer, developing compassion. One may experience poverty to understand humility, while the other lives in abundance to learn responsibility and generosity. These contrasting experiences create a wealth of knowledge that will benefit both when they reunite. It's as if they were two explorers who set out for different territories and then reunite to share their maps and discoveries. Each life lived apart adds a new dimension to the love they share. What makes these reunions inevitable is the universal law of magnetic attraction between complementary souls. No matter how many lives they spend apart, there is a cosmic force that will always direct them to each other at the right time. This force is more powerful than any physical, social, or cultural obstacle. It can cause a soul to be born into a family that will migrate to the country where their soulmate lives, or create circumstances that lead them to meet seemingly by chance. Many people report strange sensations before meeting their soulmate, such as recurring dreams, sudden changes of plans, or an inexplicable restlessness that leads them to make decisions that seem irrational at the time. When the reunion finally happens, the feeling of recognition is instantaneous and overwhelming. It's as if two pieces of a cosmic puzzle fit together perfectly after centuries of being lost. Many people describe this moment as a sudden awakening, a feeling of coming home they've never experienced before. Eyes meet, and there's a recognition that goes beyond current physical appearance, touching on memories of other lives and encounters. This feeling can be so intense that it causes mental confusion, as it challenges everything the person believed about relationships and human connections. It's the moment when the soul remembers its true nature and its eternal purpose. Reunions don't follow a predictable pattern and can happen at any stage of life. Some soulmates meet in childhood and grow up together. Others reunite in adulthood after living completely separate lives. In some cases, the reunion only happens in old age, bringing a sense of completeness to the final years of life. The timing is always perfect from a spiritual perspective, even if it seems late or inconvenient from a human perspective. Each reunion happens exactly when both souls are ready for the lesson they must learn together. Sometimes, this encounter can last decades, other times only a few years or even days. The inevitability of reunions should bring peace to those who miss their soulmate. If you haven't yet found your soulmate in this lifetime, it doesn't mean they don't exist or that you will never be reunited. It could mean that there are still individual lessons to be learned, or that divine timing is preparing the perfect circumstances for the encounter. Trust the cosmic process and use this waiting time to develop spiritually, for the more evolved you become, the more prepared you will be to recognize and honor your soulmate when they appear. Reunion is a universal promise that transcends this earthly life. The distinction between human love and soul love is one of the most profound revelations Edgar Cayce shared with the world. Human love, while beautiful and necessary, operates primarily on the physical, emotional, and mental levels. It arises from attraction, personality compatibility, shared interests, and physical chemistry between two people. This kind of love can be intense and rewarding, but it is also influenced by external circumstances, mood swings, and the passing of time. It is a love that blossoms and can wither, dependent on physical closeness and constant maintenance through gestures, words, and actions. While precious, it is subject to the limitations of earthly human experience. Soul love, on the other hand, exists in a completely different dimension of reality. It doesn't depend on physical appearance, age, social status, or any temporal characteristics of the people involved. It's a bond that transcends the body and personality, directly connecting the spiritual essence of two beings. This love can neither be created nor destroyed by external circumstances, remaining constant even in the face of physical separation or death. It's as if it were an energetic frequency that both souls share, a unique vibrational signature that connects them regardless of where they are in the universe. When two soulmates recognize each other, they feel this familiar vibration that resonates in their hearts. One of the most striking characteristics of soul love is its unconditional and expansive nature. While human love often seeks possession and exclusivity, soul love seeks mutual growth and freedom. It knows no jealousy in the traditional sense, for it understands that true connection cannot be threatened by external factors. This love celebrates the individual growth of each soul, even if it means periods of physical separation. It is a love that says, "I love you because you exist," not "I love you if you do this or that." This unconditional quality can be difficult to comprehend for minds accustomed to the possessive patterns of ordinary human love. Soul love also manifests itself through communication that goes far beyond words. Soulmates often experience telepathy, shared dreams, and synchronicities that confirm their connection even when they are physically separated. They can sense each other's emotions from a distance, have intuitions about what the other is going through, and even receive spiritual guidance through their connection. This form of communication is not fanciful, but a natural ability that emerges when two souls vibrate on the same frequency. It's as if they were two radios tuned to the same station, capable of transmitting and receiving messages through the spiritual ether. This communication beyond the physical is one of the clearest proofs that soul love operates in higher dimensions of reality. Many people confuse intense passion or magnetic attraction with soul love, but there are fundamental differences between these experiences. Human passion, however strong, eventually changes or diminishes in intensity over time. Soul love, on the other hand, neither diminishes nor increases. It simply exists like a universal constant. It brings a sense of deep peace and completeness that is independent of being together or apart. When you love someone with soul love, you feel gratitude for their existence. Even if your paths temporarily separate, there is an absolute trust that the connection will remain intact, no matter what happens in the physical world. Recognizing this difference is crucial for those seeking to understand relationships on a deeper level. Not every great love in this life will be your soulmate, but that doesn't diminish the value of these experiences. Every meaningful relationship teaches important lessons and contributes to spiritual growth. Human love prepares the heart to recognize and receive soul love when it manifests. It's like different instruments in a cosmic orchestra, each contributing to the complete symphony of the loving experience. Understanding these differences allows you to appreciate each type of love for what it is, without unrealistic expectations or unfair comparisons. Contrary to what fairy tales would have us believe, the encounter between soulmates is not always marked by immediate happiness and perfect harmony. Edgar Cayce revealed a surprising truth. Often these sacred encounters are accompanied by intense emotional suffering and seemingly insurmountable challenges. This suffering is not a sign that you are not soulmates, but rather proof that you are. When two souls reunite after lifetimes of separation, they bring with them emotional baggage, unhealed wounds, and behavioral patterns that need to be transformed. It's as if they were two rough gemstones that need to be polished against each other to reveal their true brilliance. Friction is necessary for hidden beauty to emerge. Suffering arises because the encounter between soulmates immediately activates an accelerated process of spiritual purification. All unresolved wounds, deep fears, and limitations that each soul carries are brought to the surface to be healed once and for all. It's an intensive process of growth that can be compared to spiritual surgery, painful in the moment, but essential for complete healing. Every argument, every moment of separation, every difficulty faced together serves as an opportunity to transcend old patterns and embrace a higher form of love. This is why soulmate relationships can feel more challenging than other ordinary relationships. One of the main sources of suffering is the confrontation with one's own ego. When your soulmate appears, they act as a ruthless mirror reflecting all your shadows and undeveloped aspects. They can trigger feelings you never even knew existed, such as deep jealousy, fears of abandonment, or patterns of control. This confrontation with your own limitations can be devastating, as it forces you to face parts of yourself you'd rather keep hidden. However, this mirroring is a gift, because only through awareness of these shadows can you transform them. Your soulmate isn't there to feed your ego, but to help you transcend it. The timing of soulmate encounters can also cause significant suffering. Often, soulmates meet again when one or both are in relationships with other people, married, or in circumstances that make union immediately impossible. This situation creates an ethical and emotional dilemma that tests the spiritual maturity of both. Does love justify any action? How can we honor this sacred connection without causing unnecessary harm to others? These questions force soulmates to develop wisdom, patience, and compassion, not only for each other, but for everyone involved in their lives. Suffering becomes a school of ethical and spiritual evolution. The intensity of love between soulmates can also be a source of suffering. When you love someone this deeply, every moment of separation becomes a small death. Every disagreement seems to threaten your very existence. The vulnerability required for this kind of love can be terrifying for people who have spent their lives building emotional walls to protect themselves. Opening your heart completely means accepting the possibility of being deeply hurt, and not every soul is ready for this level of surrender. Many soulmates go through periods of separation precisely because the intensity of the connection is more than they can handle at the moment. This temporary distance is part of the maturation process necessary for true union. The most important aspect to understand about this suffering is that it always has an evolutionary purpose. Every tear shed, every sleepless night, every moment of apparent separation serves the spiritual growth of both souls. Suffering is not punishment, but purification. It is the process through which limited human love transforms into unconditional divine love. When two soulmates undergo this process of refinement together, they emerge as more compassionate, wise beings, capable of radiating light to everyone around them. Shared suffering creates an intimacy and trust that transcends any ordinary human experience, forging a bond that no force in the universe can break. Have you ever had such vivid dreams about someone you've never met, that you woke up feeling as if you'd lived a lifetime with them? The spiritual signs that precede or accompany the encounter between soulmates are fascinating phenomena that challenge our rational understanding of reality. Edgar Cayce dedicated much of his studies to cataloging these signs, as they serve as spiritual beacons that guide souls toward their predestined reunion. These signs are not coincidences or figments of the imagination, but genuine manifestations of the energetic connection that exists between two halves of the same soul. They begin to manifest weeks, months, or even years before the actual physical encounter, preparing souls for the sacred moment to come. Dreams are perhaps the most common channel through which signs manifest. In these dreams, you can see the person's face clearly, even if you've never met them in waking life. Sometimes dreams depict scenes from past lives where you were together. Other times they show future or symbolic scenarios that represent the union of souls. These dreams have a different quality than ordinary dreams. They are more vivid, emotionally intense, and leave a lasting impression that can last for days. Many people report waking from these dreams with a deep sense of longing for someone they don't even know, as if they've just said goodbye to a lost love. These dreams are direct communications between souls, establishing contact on the astral plane before the physical encounter. The feeling of déjà vu reaches extraordinary levels when you finally meet your soulmate. It's not just a vague familiarity, but a deep and immediate recognition that can be almost shocking in its intensity. You may feel like you know this person's gestures, the way they laugh, their facial expressions, and even their thoughts before they verbalize them. This feeling of having experienced these moments before is so strong that it can cause mental and emotional confusion. Your brain tries to logically process how you can know someone you've just met so well. This confusion is normal and natural, as your conscious mind is trying to comprehend memories that belong to the soul, not the current personality. Unexplainable magnetism is another unmistakable sign of a soulmate encounter. It's an attraction that goes far beyond the physical or emotional, an invisible force that seems to pull you toward each other. This magnetism can manifest itself even before the first meeting, creating an inner restlessness that leads you to frequent the same places or make decisions that bring you closer geographically. When you finally meet, this magnetic force can be so intense that it causes real physical sensations, a racing heart, tingling in the hands, a feeling of expansion in the chest, or even dizziness. It's as if two powerful energy fields are reconnecting after a long separation, creating a synergy that affects not only you, but also those around you. Synchronicities multiply in extraordinary ways when soulmates are approaching reunion. You might discover you were born on the same day, or that you have identical scars in similar places on your body. You might discover you've been in the same places at different times, or that you have childhood photos taken in the same place without ever having met. Significant numbers begin to appear repeatedly in both of your lives. Specific songs play at the exact moment you think of each other, or you might even discover you've chosen identical names for pets or children. These synchronicities are not coincidences, but cosmic coordinations that serve as confirmation that you are on the right path toward your destined reunion. Telepathic communication is one of the most powerful and also most disconcerting signals. You may start thinking about each other at the same moment, receive intuitive messages about the other person's emotional state, or even dream the same dreams on the same night. Some soulmates report being able to physically sense when the other is in danger or experiencing difficulty, even when thousands of miles apart. This nonverbal communication intensifies after the first meeting, creating a private channel of communication that works regardless of physical proximity. It's important not to fear these phenomena, but to welcome them as gifts that confirm the authenticity of the connection between you. The encounter between soulmates far transcends the individual's search for happiness or personal fulfillment. Edgar Cayce revealed that when two halves of the same soul reunite, they activate a spiritual potential that has the power to influence not only their own lives, but all of humanity around them. This is the true divine mission of soulmates, to serve as catalysts for positive transformation in the world, radiating a frequency of love so pure and powerful that it raises the vibrational level of all who come into contact with them. They become points of light in the darkness, spiritual beacons that guide other souls toward the awakening of consciousness. This mission is not optional, but a sacred responsibility that comes with the blessing of reunion. When two soulmates work in harmony, they create a unique energy field with extraordinary healing qualities. This field is not visible to the physical eye, but can be felt by sensitive individuals who come into contact with the couple. Many people report feeling instantly at peace, inspired, or emotionally healed when in the presence of true soulmates fulfilling their mission. It's as if they radiate a frequency of unconditional love that awakens in others a remembrance of their own divine nature. Hospitals, nursing homes, and rehabilitation centers often benefit from the presence of couples who are conscious soulmates, as their mere presence accelerates physical and emotional healing processes in others. This healing ability is not the result of specific techniques, but a natural consequence of two souls operating in perfect spiritual harmony. The creativity and productivity of soulmates in union often far exceeds what each could achieve individually. When they work together on projects that serve the greater good, they channel inspiration and wisdom from higher dimensions of reality. Many of history's greatest works of art, scientific discoveries, and social movements were the result of collaboration between soulmates who understood their mission. They complement each other perfectly. Where one has limitations, the other has strengths, creating a synergy that allows them to accomplish things impossible for either individually. This heightened productivity is not the result of forced effort, but flows naturally when two souls vibrate at the same frequency of divine purpose. Working together becomes a form of prayer in action. One of the main missions of soulmates is to serve as a living example of how love can transcend all human limitations. In a world where relationships are often based on self-interest, possessiveness, and conditions, they demonstrate that it is possible to love unconditionally, generously, and liberatingly. Their relationship becomes a school where others learn forgiveness, compassion, patience, and surrender. They show that it is possible to resolve conflicts without violence, love without possessing, and grow together without losing individuality. Often, without even realizing it, they positively influence the relationships of friends, family, and even strangers who observe their example. Their simple existence as a couple raises the standards of love in their community. Soulmates also have a mission to help other souls prepare for their own reunions. Through advice, example, or even therapeutic and spiritual work, they guide people who are still searching for their soulmate, or who have found one, but don't know how to honor this sacred connection. They share their wisdom about the challenges and rewards of soulmates, helping others avoid common pitfalls and develop the spiritual maturity necessary to sustain such intense connections. This guidance can be formal, through books, lectures, or counseling, or informal, through casual conversations and personal example. Each soulmate who fulfills their mission makes it easier for other soulmates to recognize and unite. The highest aspect of the soulmate mission is their contribution to raising planetary consciousness. In times of crisis, war, or collective despair, the presence of soulmates united and aware of their purpose acts as an energetic counterbalance that helps stabilize the Earth's vibrational frequency. They anchor higher energies into the physical plane, facilitating the spiritual awakening process of humanity as a whole. Their loving union sends waves of positive frequency that expand far beyond their physical location, influencing the planetary morphogenetic field. Therefore, the individual healing work they do within themselves and with each other has global repercussions. Every wound healed, every negative pattern transformed, every moment of true love experienced contributes to the collective healing of humanity. The divine plan does not always include the physical reunion of soulmates in each earthly incarnation. Edgar Cayce revealed that there are specific lifetimes where one soul remains in the spiritual realms, while its soulmate experiences the solitary human experience. This temporary separation is not a punishment or a cruel twist of fate, but a carefully planned cosmic strategy to accelerate the individual growth of both souls. When a soul remains in the spiritual realm, it assumes the role of guide, protector, and inspirer of its incarnate half, working behind the scenes to orchestrate experiences that promote spiritual evolution. This dynamic can be even more powerful than physical union, as the discarnate soul has access to perspectives and resources unavailable on the material plane. The physical absence of a soulmate can manifest as a deep, inexplicable longing that no human relationship can fully fill. It's common for people in this situation to feel a void in their hearts that persists, regardless of how successful they are in other areas of life. They may have satisfying and loving relationships, but they always feel like something fundamental is missing, as if an essential part of themselves is dormant or inaccessible. This feeling shouldn't be seen as a personal flaw or inadequacy, but as evidence of a connection that transcends this physical reality. It's proof that your heart recognizes a connection that exists in higher dimensions, even if your conscious mind doesn't fully comprehend that reality. The signs of a soulmate's spiritual presence can be subtle but constant for those who know how to recognize them. Recurring dreams about the same unknown person, powerful intuitions that arrive at crucial moments, feelings of not being alone even in total physical solitude, and synchronicities that seem like direct answers to unspoken questions are some of the ways a disembodied soulmate communicates. Many people report mental conversations with a loving presence who offers comfort during hardships or celebrates their victories. This communication may seem one-sided at first, but with time and practice, a form of inner dialogue develops, where answers arrive through sudden insights, positive mood shifts, or clear guidance on important decisions. The disembodied soulmate often works through others, sending messages of love and guidance through friends, family, or even strangers who appear at the precise moment they are needed. Recognizing these signs requires spiritual sensitivity and openness to accept that true love knows no limitations of physical death. The soulmate who remains in the spiritual realm also assumes the role of organizer of earthly experiences that promote accelerated growth. They can influence chance encounters that result in transformative work opportunities, friendships that bring emotional healing, or challenging situations that strengthen the character of their incarnated half. These interventions are always made with love and respect for free will, never forcing situations, but rather creating opportunities for the incarnated soul to choose their own path of evolution. It's like having a personal guardian angel who perfectly understands your spiritual needs and works tirelessly to facilitate your growth. This divine coordination explains why some people seem to have unusual luck or a remarkable ability to be in the right place at the right time during crucial moments in their lives. During this earthly life, without the physical presence of a soulmate, a person often develops a deep connection with spirituality and an intuitive understanding of the nature of unconditional love. This sacred solitude becomes a period of intensive preparation, where all the lessons necessary to sustain a soulmate union are learned through direct life experiences. The person learns to love without possessiveness through deep friendships, develops patience through challenges that require perseverance, and cultivates compassion through service to others in pain. Each difficult experience becomes an opportunity to expand the capacity to love, preparing the heart to receive and offer the kind of transcendent love that characterizes soulmates. The most comforting aspect of this situation is the absolute certainty that the separation is only temporary. The disembodied soulmate is constantly preparing the conditions for a future reunion that will be even more glorious due to the period of individual growth they both experienced. When the reunion finally occurs, whether in this lifetime through conscious dreams and direct spiritual communication, or in future lives through a new joint incarnation, the love shared will have a depth and maturity that can only be achieved through patience and trust in the divine plan. This wait is not wasted time, but an investment in the eternal future they will share. Each moment of longing is simultaneously a moment of growth that brings them closer to the final and glorious reunion that awaits them. After exploring all the mysteries surrounding soulmates, we finally arrive at the deepest secret Edgar Cayce revealed about this sacred connection. The true secret lies not in desperately searching the world for your soulmate, nor in forcing relationships to fit the romantic ideal of soulmates. The secret lies in the revolutionary understanding that meeting your soulmate is inevitable when you become the best version of yourself. It's not a matter of luck, timing, or external circumstances, but of energetic vibration and spiritual evolution. When you reach a certain level of awareness, self-love, and spiritual maturity, you automatically attract your other half, like two magnets that align perfectly when they reach the correct polarity. The universe conspires to bring together souls that vibrate at the same high frequency. The process of preparing for your soulmate encounter is, paradoxically, a process of individual completeness. Many people mistakenly believe they need their other half to feel complete, but the opposite is true. You need to feel complete to be ready for your soulmate. This means healing past emotional wounds, developing healthy self-esteem, cultivating the capacity to love unconditionally, starting with yourself, and establishing a solid connection with your own spiritual nature. When you stop searching outside yourself for what can only be found within, you naturally raise your vibration to a level that resonates with your soulmate. It's like tuning a radio to the right frequency. When you find the right station, the music flows clearly and without interference. The spiritual maturity required to sustain a soulmate union includes the ability to love without possessiveness, support each other's growth even when it means periods of separation, and understand that true love is an act of mutual service, not self-gratification. Many people dream of soulmates because they believe it will solve all their emotional problems and bring perpetual happiness, but the reality is that this type of relationship requires the highest level of emotional and spiritual maturity. You must be prepared to be an honest mirror for your soulmate, reflecting both their luminous qualities and their shadows that need to be transformed. This ability to give and receive loving yet direct feedback only develops when you have already done considerable work on self-knowledge and inner healing. The secret also reveals that every relationship you have before finding your soulmate is valuable preparation for this sacred union. Every love you experience, every heart you touch, and every emotional wound you heal through relationships are necessary steps on your journey of evolution. Non-soulmate relationships are not failures or wasted time, but precious schools where you learn specific lessons about love, commitment, communication, and joint growth. Some people reach their soulmate only after decades of other relationships that taught them exactly what it takes to honor such a sacred connection. Each loving experience adds a layer of wisdom that enriches your capacity to truly love. The most transformative revelation of the secret is that the work of evolution never ends. Even after meeting a soulmate, union is not the end of the journey, but the beginning of a new phase of joint growth where both souls challenge each other to reach ever higher levels of consciousness and love. The relationship between soulmates is a constantly evolving spiritual laboratory, where each day offers new opportunities to transcend limitations and expand the capacity to love. They grow together towards states of consciousness neither could achieve alone, becoming ever more refined in their expression of divine love. This joint growth is the true purpose of union. Not personal happiness, but accelerated spiritual evolution that benefits all humanity. When you truly understand this secret, a profound peace takes hold of your heart. You stop anxiously searching for your soulmate and begin to focus on becoming the person your soulmate will be happy to meet. You invest in your own spiritual growth, heal your emotional wounds, develop your unique talents, and learn to radiate unconditional love to everyone around you. This personal transformation not only prepares you for your soulmate, but enriches your life in unimaginable ways, making each day a celebration of your own divine nature. The ultimate secret is that when you become a truly loving soul, you attract true love in all its forms, including reunion, with your eternal soulmate. Now that you've discovered the deepest secrets about soulmates revealed by Edgar Cayce, a new perspective on love opens up before you. Perhaps you've recognized signs in your own life, or understood why certain relationships touched your soul so deeply. The most important thing is to realize that you are not alone on this cosmic journey of love, and that each experience you have is preparing you for ever more elevated and meaningful connections. Your soulmate may be closer than you imagine, working behind the scenes in your life or preparing somewhere in the world for the reunion that is already written in the stars. The truth about soulmates isn't just about finding someone special, but about awakening to your own divine nature and your infinite capacity to love. When you embrace this journey of self-discovery and spiritual growth, each day becomes an opportunity to draw closer not only to your soulmate, but to your highest, most luminous self. The eternal love you seek already exists within you, just waiting to be discovered and shared with the one created to vibrate in perfect harmony with your purest essence. May this revelation illuminate your path and bring renewed hope to your heart.